Hello everyone, and welcome to part number 6 of the Wano Northag DLC preview with another Polish formation here. The 4th Mechanized division of the Polish army here. And this is a pretty hot one as well. I really enjoyed playing with them. And we start here in the logistics tab with some supply trucks for them. One big one with 2000, one medium-sized one with 600 supply. They have Me-2 command helicopters here coming around. BVP-1, Polish BMPs here coming around as commanders as well. BD-43 here. And the first Scot of a lot of Scots that we will see here with 2 frontal armor, a 50 cal, and a PKT 8 hit points and 65 kilometers off-road, 100 kilometers on-road speed. A decent little APC here. And a supply point as well. In the infantry tab, we start with a 7.6mm MG. Then we have the anti-tank squad of the Polish here with RPG 7 VLs. These come in a star truck, in a Scot 2A with a turret on top, a 50 cal and a 7mm, with both being in the turret, 2 frontal armor, 30 points, so pretty cost efficient for that job, and really giving you decent fire support with it. And then you also have the Scot 2 AM with 2 Malyutka missiles here on top of this, which is a really interesting unit. You get 9 of them when you get them with these guys, so this is a pretty nice little AT unit. And then you also get the BVP-1 for 25 points with a Malyutka M as well. So that is a pretty capable little IFV there too. The Polish, they're pretty efficient. And yeah, the Piechota mech with BAVP-1 for the leaders. The bad Komar AT weapon, only 500 meter range with 12 pen, that is not great, but smoke grenades are nice. Piechota mech with BMP, and the guys with SVD and double PKM here for only 5 points more. So I feel like those are the guys that you often go for, but the availability here is pretty great for the other guys as well. 10 base, 7 on 1 vet with BMP1s, so these guys get a lot of guys out there. SVD and PKM are pretty capable as well. So this guy gives you a lot of firepower for the 7-man squad. Then we have Saperji. They come with a leader with a Komar, and the Scot 2 that just has a 50 cal without the turret. No 7mm either. Costs you 5 points less though, so still pretty efficient in that regard. And then Saperji here with the PKM and the AK satchel charge and an AT weapon, so that is quite nice. Saperji Storm with the Rise, decent fire flamethrower weapon here. Only 9-man hit point squad, and a PKM that is not great in shock situations. That is a bit of an issue for these guys, but the other support weapons are decent. Scot 2s here for both of these as well. Availability is okay too. SPG-9 that can come in the 2 AM with the Malyutkas or a BMP as well. That is solid. The military police unit with the WSW, which has some of the submachine guns. So not a great fire support unit, but 9 hit points at least is pretty nice. 45 points is not that cheap though for this kind of squad without any other capabilities, and you don't have any reservist units in this, so they're not that helpful in that regard. Piechota leaders here in Scot 2As with SVD and AKs and RPG 76 and smoke grenades here with a Scot 2A as well. And yeah, 2 frontal hit point, yeah, and a pretty decent little vehicle. Piechota with another Scot 2A transport here, standard 9-man squadron. That is the really good thing about the Scots, they can carry a lot of troops. 9-man squads here in an APC, that is real nice. SVD variant, 10-man squad even, in one of those, with 2 PKMs and the SVD. This is a really good unit, though the availability is also decently reduced. But yeah, those squads here getting 3 extra hit points with 3 extra AKs is quite nice. Cost you 15 points, that is okay as well. Decent squad here. Then you got some special forces with the Commandosi, which can come in the W3, Me-8, or Me-8T transport on the W3 Soko without any weapons, or a honker, little classic Jeep. The special forces themselves, only a 6-man squad. Have smoke grenade and RPG though, so they are somewhat versatile, and they still have decent firepower there. 55 points for these. Decent squad for sure. And then we have a Fagot that can come in the Squad 2A with the Malyutkas, so you can get more ATGMs out there as well. Yeah, once more, no conquerors for the Polish, as they didn't really get any in real life either. Then 120mm mortar, which can come in the Scott as well. The Scott being there the transport of choice. We have an old M30 howitzer here, World War II vintage. We got some ML20s, a bit better World War II vintage here, with direct fire capabilities, but if the 13-pan 30% accuracy gun comes into play, you really are in a bad spot with these guys, so better pray that that doesn't happen. And then a couple of Grud launchers here, the BM21 and the WZ70, which is pretty much the same as the ARM-70, carrying an extra reload for these missile launchers and paying 20 points extra for that. Tank tab, you get Conquerors, Malyutkas, the only Conquerors here. Conquerors launcher from a BRDM2, a Malyutka from a BRDM2, and a Fagot launcher. The D48 here coming around with a 16-pan gun, 85mm AT gun, 1025mm range. It's a decent one, being assisted by some MTLBs. T55AD has the classic T55A leader. And the AS mine clearing vehicle here. You get 2 cards of these. For fire support, they can come around and help you out, blowing things up extra. And then the Meridas here that we already have seen in Rügner Gruppierung, with a Merida variant with these things from the rear as well. No ATGMs, they couldn't launch the ATGMs from these guns. So Polish here, a bit more limited, but at least a 2275 meter range tank gun, though the penetration there pretty low on those ranges. Merida with the launchers here in the rear, paying the extra 30 points as well, though I feel like if you already want to get the launchers, you might as well get them with the A's, because the A has to push into the range anyways. And then the 1750 meter range, you actually can use them. These things usually don't want to be in the range of 1750 meters to any enemies, so usually if you want to have the launchers, I feel like you want to get them on the cheaper vehicle here, as they also have better availability. Recon tab, you get the Sviadovice, which is a pretty classic 4-man squad with an RPG. They have an extra submachine gun that doesn't really matter. OT-65 here as a good optics transport, or Me-2 helicopter. Saperji variant here to blow things up. These can come in the BAW little boat thing, or a 3-horse, which has good optics and a 50 cal. That is a viable transport, 2 frontal armor, so that thing actually might be worthwhile with a little turret here for the 50 cal. And then the motorized variant that can come in a BMP-1 with 7 hit points and an RPG as well. The BRDM-1 with radar equipped, hot little looking vehicle, exceptional optics and a 50 cal. This is a really good recon vehicle, actually cheaper than the BRDM-2, whilst having better optics, so actually you always should go for this guy. As this thing only has slightly better performance on the main gun and an extra PKT, but the better optics here, I feel like the BRDM-1 is just a better deal. Me-2 Arrow with very good optics and a 23mm gun here, and the one with the 4 7mm here going around. Then we have another Special Forces unit with RPGs, but only a 4-man squad. So this is your classic 4-man recon, but as Special Forces. And yeah, these specialni kind of infantry unit here. I'm not quite sure how great they are. They have a Honkers Special Forces as well with a 50 cal. So, yeah, maybe there is something there, but they don't have any GSR or anything, and with a 4-man squad, that's just not gonna kill much. They at least have an RPG-7VL, so that is a pretty capable RPG launcher, but they also only have normal recon deployment, no forward deployment, so that kind of keeps them back here. Maybe with that, they might be worthwhile sometimes. AA, we get another Scott 2 AP variant with our Strellas. This one has the AP turret, which is an AA turret, giving them slight AA capabilities, low range 40mm against helicopters and aircraft. Not quite that amazing. It pays 5 points extra to the normal Scott 2A, but it can come in handy sometimes against aircraft and helicopters there, dealing a bit of damage, but you need a good couple of them to really kill anything. And 2125-meter range means that you are in a big disadvantage range-wise against any helicopter with ATGMs, so that is a problem for sure. ZSU 23 as your classic A, the more important one, the yacht here with the Strellas on top. That one is a 15-point difference here. I feel like the airborne one might have messed it up with the difference, and the prices there have been mixed up maybe. This one supposed to be 40 and the airborne one being supposed to be 45 would make a bit more sense. And yeah, we have a 57mm AA gun here as well. Decent range against helicopter and aircraft. Not great, but better than these guys here. So that might be worthwhile considering. And then we have a normal ZSU truck and the KG with the yacht in the rear. And more importantly in this deck though, you get OSAS, which with their great anti-helicopter and anti-aircraft range at the moment are pretty capable, and with stress on miss on AA missiles also really, really solid. The 7 hit point missiles do a good amount of suppression against aircraft flying by, even if they miss now. So the 55% accuracy not as important. Strela 1 here, pretty solid unit as well. So the AA tab, pretty okay, not quite long range, but really good mid-range and really solid short range as well. Then we get a lot of the Polish Me-2s here in the helicopter tab. We have a couple new variants. This is a classic here, which we have in the East Germans as well. Rocket pods plus 23mm. The Salamandra has Malyutka ATGMs on it. And then the last one has Malyutkas and Strellas mounted on the bottom here as well. So as weaponized as possible. 80 points for that though. And Malyutka is not a great ATGM, and the Strela 2M is not a great AA missile, so not amazing with 3 availability. But for sure, interesting units here. You get good Me-24s as well. You get a Cocon variant, and you get 2 availability AT variants here. So that is a pretty solid helicopter tab. The air tab, on the other hand, not as great. MiG-23 is here with only 2 availability. One coming in with only the R3R. That one only having 2 availability is pretty rough, as you at least get R13Ms here, which have decent damage but bad accuracy. And you get here the R60s, which have decent accuracy but bad damage, with R23Rs, which is not amazing either, and the R3R is just not good. The S22s here are decent. Seria R, which is pretty much replaceable with the KH-29T variant of the East Germans, cluster variant, and an AG variant with 4 500kg bombs. So the SU-22s are good, the fighters are pretty bad, so your AA tab for sure needs to do good part of the work. So yep, this is the 4th Mechanized of the Polish, a really solid division as well. Not really great at dealing with heavy tanks, but it has good mechanized infantry. It has a lot of cheap vehicles, including T-55s. The Merida there giving you a pretty capable tank as well. And yeah, as long as you fight against lighter forces or mid forces, this deck can absolutely hold its ground. If it has to fight heavy tanks, you better let somebody else do that. Or in a 1v1, you try to kill them off as fast as possible, because as soon as they get multiple heavy tanks on, this deck has an issue.